Hi everyone, and welcome to a brief tutorial I'm presenting today for Las Vegas Fans UK. What I'm going to be showing you is how to search for unique events, unique shows whilst you're in Vegas. So the first thing you'll need to do is to make sure you're on Ticketmaster.com, not .co.uk. Otherwise, nothing will show up. The next thing you need to do is adjust your location. Now, I've already got it set to the greater Las Vegas area. If it's not on that for you, which it may or may not be, just change the location. You can type in Las Vegas, that's fine. Eventually, it will end up looking like that. The next thing we're going to do, ignore the main bulk of the front page because a lot of it is going to be stuff that's on when you're not there, so not really relevant. But the first thing we're going to do is we go to this menu section down here, shop for events. Now what we're going to do is select the category. Now I'm going to do music. That's where most of the shows end up, weirdly, even if they're comedy. They very often end up in the music section for some reason. Now we would go to the dates, and you can ignore the subcategory and date range. It's fine. You just want to go on these sections here. Now I'm actually going in February, but if I show you February, there's not going to be much there because stuff doesn't get announced that far in advance, generally speaking. So I'm going to try some dates in August. I'm going to do Wednesday the 2nd to Wednesday the 9th. Now, one thing to bear in mind is obviously if you're going, your to and from dates are not necessarily the dates that you can attend concerts. You may not want to attend a concert or a show on the first night. It's quite a long journey. I've tried it a few times, and a couple of times I've had to duck out just because it's just too long to stay awake. Obviously, a lot of the shows are on in the evening. It can be a bit much. Also, bear in mind, obviously, say for example, you're going from the 2nd to the 9th. You can't actually attend, obviously, a concert on the 9th because you're flying home that day. So that's just something to bear in mind when you're searching for your dates. But for the purposes of this, we'll go ahead, and that will load up the results. We'll see what we've got. Now you can narrow it down by subcategory here if you really want to. It's entirely up to you. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Ticketmaster anyway. What we're going to do is we're just going to scroll down, beg your pardon, through these. You can see you've got Terry Fator. Now the first one that pops into my eye is Cher. Now she does, I think, I don't know how you would describe it really, but a semi-residency, shall we say. She's not in Vegas all the time, but this won't be her only show, put it that way. So depending on how interested you are in going to see Cher, you could, you know, have a look at tickets and book it. That's absolutely fine if that's what you want to do. And obviously, as I say, the majority of these are things that are resident in Vegas. You know, Matt King, you can get tickets out there, it's not a problem. He's resident there, he does a lot of shows, 2 a day, 5 days a week, I think. So, same with a lot of these. Terry Fator does most nights. So, but we're looking for something really out of the ordinary, something that wouldn't normally be on. Keep going, keep going. Now, one thing to bear in mind as well is if you see Henderson, or I think sometimes Prim comes up as well, they're not really in Vegas. They're going to be a drive away. So avoid those if you're not wanting to travel, put it that way. Let's keep going down. You can see we've got comedy. In fact, there's some comedy here. David Spade and Howie Mandel. Here we go. Not really finding anything unique. We've got Cher there. Here we go. So we've got Kendrick Lamar here. Now, he's not everyone's cup of tea. I'm not myself an enormous fan. But this is the type of thing that we're looking for. Kendrick Lamar, if he's doing a show in England, would normally only be on probably at the O2, maybe Manchester, maybe somewhere in Scotland. He's not going to be doing every arena in the UK. So if he's on whilst you're in Vegas, and you like him, what better time to go and see him? So that's the sort of thing that we're looking for essentially. I'm not sure if there's going to be any more. Let's keep going. We'll stick with it. Uh, you can see Penn and Teller. A lot of these shows are going to be repeated night after night after night. I should have mentioned The Who earlier. I think much like Cher, they do a sort of semi-residency. So if they're on while you're out there and you like The Who, you know, again, why not? It's something cool to be able to say you've done. I think we're getting to the end here. Yeah, I think that's about it. So that should give you an idea of what I do. Um, I would normally check. It depends when you're actually going. I'm, as I say, not going till February, so I'm only checking this probably once a week or so. Once I get to sort of 2, 3 months away, I'll check it 2, 3 times a week at least, if not every day, just because things can get added on there at short notice, and it can be the case where if you don't know that they're going to be on, you can miss the actual window for tickets going on sale. Obviously, depending who it is, there may or may not be a big demand for tickets. Um, but I hope that's been of some use to you. If you have any questions, obviously just give us a shout, or one of the moderators a shout, and we'll give you a hand.